Good evening. What a privilege to join with you as you gather to consider what it will mean to take healthcare reform to the next level in Oregon. Long before healthcare reform blew onto the radar of presidential politics in 2008, a multitude of faith-inspired advocates from all across the country had come together to identify shared values which pointed to a healthcare future that included everyone and worked well for all of us. I'm pleased to say that faith leaders in Oregon were a part of that process. We did this because we understood the sacred bonds of our common humanity, and because we were grateful for the lives that we share and for our calling to care for one another. We did this because we knew of brothers and sisters who suffered or died for lack of needed health care. And we did this because of our need to confess that we have fallen short in caring for every member of our human family, that in spite of our abundant resources, we have failed to ensure that all may receive the health care they need for the life that is intended for every person. We prayed together for forgiveness, for hearts that had been slow to feel another's pain, for hands that had been still when a healing touch was needed, and for voices that had remained silent while millions suffered for lack of needed health care. We prayed that the valleys and the burdens of sickness and disease would be conquered as we raised our voices of faith for the simple, moral, and merciful imperative of meeting one another's health care needs. And we prayed that our healthcare future would be shaped by values inherent in the sacred bonds of our common humanity and reflective of faithful stewardship in the use of our abundant healthcare resources. To undergird our work, members of the Faithful Reform in Healthcare Coalition developed a faith-inspired vision of healthcare as the core statement of shared values that would support our work for healthcare for all. This vision statement was signed by nearly 150 national and state organizations representing the breadth and depth of our interfaith communities, and by thousands of individuals representing every state. It united us through the turbulent waters of federal legislative action, and now through the struggles that continue to challenge the implementation of the Affordable Care Act. We used it to promote unity and to reject divisive and harmful rhetoric that shreds the collective fabric of our society. As we develop this statement, we acknowledge that there are a variety of moral values that can inform public discourse, but those to be emphasized for our healthcare future include community, human dignity, shared responsibility, faithful stewardship, and compassion, with particular concern for those who are most vulnerable. We affirm that the healthcare needs of every person must take precedence over protecting profits that are based on denying coverage or creating barriers to health services and products. And finally, we shared this vision in the hope that we could facilitate dialogue that would transcend partisan politics and recognize that healthcare reform has to be a people priority, not a partisan ballgame. Our work is not done. We must continue to promote values that are important to our faith communities. We must move toward a healthcare future that is inclusive, offering everyone, regardless of circumstance, access to a solid system of health care. We must create a healthcare future that is accessible, eliminating all barriers to that system, thereby enabling all of us to participate in and contribute to the life we share together. We must shape a healthcare future that is affordable, ensuring that we create a modern system that uses our abundant healthcare resources effectively, efficiently, and equitably. And we must design a healthcare future that is accountable, calling for shared responsibility across all sectors of our society, working in partnership on behalf of the common good. In closing, I just want to say that I am so very grateful for your faithful witness around something which is nothing less than a moral imperative. Your passion surely has helped keep alive the vision of health care for all in Oregon. May the one to whom you turn for spiritual renewal bless you as you continue to work for a compassionate society in which our health system affords health, wholeness, and human dignity for all.